PCS Laundry Live, broadcasting live from in front of the Lexington Laundromat in White Plains, New York, for our fourth week in a row. Nobody's been arrested. Haven't had a fight with any of the locals. My laundry seems to be going well. And off we go for week number 4. I'm holding the phone horizontal this time, which is unnatural for me. Hi, Roxanne Dudley Toner. I just thought I'd give you a little bit more interesting view. Hey, Mike, Brenda Kelly. But let me know, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. It's weird. I don't like holding the phone this way. I can see their comments actually better because they're off to the side, so I can see better. But I don't know how that's going to go. But tell me what your preference is. You like it that way? Or do you like it that way? And off we go. First of all, thanks everybody for your continuing support of Planet Common Sense. It's invaluable. And we're still growing. We have our days. And we have our other days. And hopefully the other days are fewer than the first days, but you know what I'm saying. But again, thanks to everybody. Please click follow. Let me know you're there. Let's build the numbers up. I know there's a lot of you out there not clicking follow for whatever reason. But that's all cool. But if it's just because you're being lazy and pertinent, click the damn button and get on board and let me see some numbers. But whatever. As long as you're listening, then I'm good with that. Yvonne Simone. Mike Petty again. I'm wondering if my hand is covering up the microphone. So if you can't hear me, let me know. And that'll be the end of the horizontal hold. Second thing, a lot of new people in this week. We're picking up about 150, 200 people a week, which is awesome. Way more than I would have figured back, excuse me, like a year ago when we were getting like 2 or 3 new people a week, and like I'd lose my shit when somebody unfollowed. So it's one less thing to lose my shit over. I appreciate that. But new people, if you're joining us here on the live show, very cool. Thanks for stepping in. Please don't be afraid to jump in. It's a good bunch of people here, and nobody bites too hard, and it's all good. I also want to throw a thank you out to everybody who bought the book last week. That was kind of a very cool thing for me. If you weren't on last week, I introduced it was a book I wrote about 7 years ago. I'm not going to go into detail in like 5 minutes on it this time. I'm just going to give you the brief because, well, all right, here, the book's called Thoughts from the Real. It's on Amazon. It's on Nook. It's $3.99. And what it is just basically a best of from the original Planet Common Sense platform, which is a WordPress blog from about 2019, from 2011 through 2012. It's a cool read. It's dated and it's old stuff, but it's kind of just interesting to look at it from our perspective. Like if PCS now was around 7-8 years ago when that stuff was all going on, you had Occupy Wall Street, you had Casey Anthony, we had a lot of just wacky stuff we were talking about. And so check out the book. And if you've read it, thanks again. I started off by saying thank you. Thanks to the bunch of people who bought the book. That was really awesome. If you got the book and you read it and you want to call me on anything, you want to talk about anything, absolutely, please bring that up. And keep on buying the book. The book's going to be our first unofficial sponsor. And I think I was pretty good about not pimping it all week long. Like I promised you I wouldn't. I only mentioned it once or twice. But I'm going to bring it up on the shows. It's just going to be like the sponsor of the show. So Thoughts from the Real. I'm going to post a link later. It's on Amazon and it's on Nook. $3.99. Buy a book. Reading's good for you. Linda Bleefnick. Happy George Washington's birthday. I hope everyone enjoys it cherry today. Be more specific with this crowd, please, because that can go completely off the rails. But happy George Washington's birthday to Linda. Linda, Yvonne, and Mike. It looks like we're only 3 here. Oh, Cornelia Bates, Sarah Pearson, I'm sorry, I had to scroll back. Mona Eves. Everybody, I hope you're all doing good today. So I'm actually in kind of a stinky mood all day today. I don't know why. I'm pretty tired. It's just everything's catching up with me, and it's been a long week, and I'm actually ramping up the workouts, and that's not helping. And I haven't had a day off since New Year's Day. And the next one's not till Easter. So it's a long stretch, and it's wearing on me a little bit, but it's all good. We'll see how it goes. I also got a giant friggin' splinter under my fingernail about an inch and a half deep today, so that's stinging a little bit, but I'm not going to die or anything if you're worried. Yvette Marie Enos, hello from Arizona. Hello, Yvette. Welcome. Roxanne Dudley Toner, book. Yes, there's a book out. It's, again, not to hype on it and not to spend an hour on it, but I wrote a book a couple years ago. It's a short book. It's kind of cool. It's kind of dated, but give it a check. I'll post a link for it later. And anything anybody wants to know about it, let me know. Kira Weber Hopwood, one of our 4-timers, I think. Mike Petty, I know you've been here for everyone. I think Cornelia, a lot of you. Thoughts from the Real is the name of the book. Whoever just asked that. Moni Eves, coming through just fine. Thank you very much for letting me know that. Rob Grimaldi and everybody. Jennifer Heiser's watching from Florida. Tell me about the temps in Florida, man, because I'll tell you what, it's a little colder here tonight. And we're doing an outside thing, but I don't know if we're going to make it a whole hour outside tonight because it's a little chillier than last week. I can't wait till this weather breaks. I hate the winter with a passion. As soon as my kids are done with school, man, I'm out of New York. I'll tell you all for a million reasons. But Mike Petty, I like cherries. Well, that was a given. Brenda Kelly, been a long week for sure all the way around. There's been a lot of interesting things going on this week. Colleen Kelly Johnson, the name of the book is Thoughts from the Real. Thoughts from the Real. Did you stain your drawers with that? Who said that? And what is it in context to? Kathy Ashbrook, hi from Belton, Texas. Mike Petty, did you stain your drawers with that splinter? No, man, but I tell you what, I screamed. Really, it was one of those. I got a desk that we built the desk ourselves, and the top is just finished plywood, but it's old and it's a little splintery. And I just finished tagging up some new inventory that came in, and it was on the desk, and I went with my right hand and did like a sweep pickup, like real hard, and as I swept this big friggin' doorstop size wedge of splintery wood right under my ring finger on my right hand, and it like literally was like up to the knuckle, and I screamed. Like, I didn't scream like a girl, I screamed like that kind of scream. And like, I tell you what, it was like 5 minutes later, somebody came downstairs to see if I was okay, which was kind of fucked up because I could have been dead. And it was like nobody was in a rush to see if I was okay. But I was okay, so, you know, what are you going to do? And I'll take that out on them some other way, some other day. And that's how that goes. Kira Weber Hopwood is fucking suffocating in Florida. 91 degrees in February. I would take that all day long. Thank you. I will absolutely take 91 degrees anytime you want. Bring on spring. Roxanne, you got it. 80 degrees, Jennifer Heiser. It's 82 for Mike Petty. It's like, I don't know, it's like 35 here, but we're going to tough it out, man. You know what? Pain don't hurt. Cold don't hurt. It is what it is, and can do a better show outside than I can inside because I can't start yelling and screaming inside. And it could come to that any given time, so we want to leave that option open. Linda Bleefnick, I've been wondering, do you have followers from each of the 50 states? You know why? I don't know. I mean, it's not really, I guess there's probably some sort of metrics in the readouts that I get from Facebook that would tell me some of that. I know there's a lot from New York. I got, somebody was listening to the show last week from Australia, which was real cool. I know I got a bunch of fans from down in Australia. It was just like one knot of people that came from this one original friend, and it's just a cool bunch, and I ended up getting a lot of people off of that person, and they're all from Australia, so cool on that. I tell you, man, that's a place, I don't leave America. I used to, and I never went too far. Like, I've been to Canada, and I've been to Jamaica, and those are the only two. We could talk about Jamaica all night some night. But I tell you straight up, if I was ever going to leave the United States and go live somewhere else, I honestly think I would go to Australia. And if I'm crazy and anybody wants to try and talk me out of that, who's from Australia, whoever it was last week that was on, pop back in and let us know. But I would go there, man. It seems like a cool place, and it seems like some nice people down there. So we'll see about that. Maria Abraham, hi, Glenn, looking on all the way from Trinidad. You hilarious, man. Do you have the accent the way I say it? That was great, from Trinidad. That's awesome. I think you win for tonight unless Australia shows up, but cool on you. What else we got? Illinois, feel sorry for me. Yeah, that's a rough one this week, especially with that knucklehead who I'm sure we're going to have to get into at some point here because somebody's going to bring it up. But my condolences to everybody from Illinois and particularly Chicago area. Y'all took an unjustified black eye this week with this knucklehead and this whatever, whatever. We'll get into that after. Brian Fanoof, is it Ghetto Chicken Night? Do we get to see what it looks like? We looked at the outside of Ghetto Chicken last week. Were you here? But, I mean, it's just fried chicken, man. We could go in and talk to Chef El Amin, but I don't know if he's going to be too busy or not. I don't actually know if he even works. I don't know if you remember that from a while back. There was a sign in there. It was for Chef El Amin's special, I can't remember what it was, like hip-hop potato salad or something like that, which I never tried and I should have. But they took the sign down. So I don't know if Chef El Amin is still part of the game. But Sarah Pearson from Southern California, too. Brenda Kelly, love Jamaica. Been there several times. I've been there several times myself. I actually honeymooned in Jamaica, which it was all downhill from there. But I like Jamaica. Then, it was a long time ago. I don't know what it's like now. You know, you hear a lot of different things about how things change and the crime and everything else. And even then, it's just, I was in Jamaica, I want to say 89 or 90, so it's been a long time. No, it couldn't have been that long ago. I guess it was in the mid-90s or whatever it was. It was a while ago. And, even then, like, everybody was like, don't go to Kingston because save your money and just go to the South Bronx because that's all that's like as far as crime and stuff like that. But I never did Kingston. Went to Negril. I spent some time in Negril, actually. I got some friends down there. And we were in Dunn's River Falls for a bit. We were in Montego Bay for a bit. But we can go into that some other night. That was fun. I went to Hedonism too. And if you never heard of that, it's an interesting place. It's basically the rules are even more slack than they are here on Planet Common Sense about don't be an asshole. I don't know, maybe not, but close. But basically, as long as you stay within the limits of the law and like don't kill anybody and don't like rape anybody and don't kill or rape anybody, you can pretty much do whatever you want at Hedonism too. And I saw some stuff down there as stuff that, well, obviously I'll talk about it, but if it was me doing it, I wouldn't want anybody talking about it, but it was fun. I'd like to go back there sometime. We'll definitely check that out. So another thing I forgot to mention too about PCS Live. I was talking about the possibility of doing some other live opportunities, and we're kicking a few things around. So that might be coming up soon too. I'm not going to leave that all up to you. I'm getting messages, guys. Don't message me during a live show because I'm just like sweeping it to the side and not looking at it. I can't do anything about a message, but I'm not going to leave the live show options up to you because you guys are just going to tell me to go fuck with people and do stuff to get myself in trouble. So you can laugh and I can go to jail, and that's counterproductive to the mission. So, Denise Robinson, don't overload the machines. Nah, we're all good. We actually did the wash already. We started that last week with the getting the wash out of the way first because the wash only takes 30 minutes, and then I got to stop and go do the dry. And then what I'm doing now is doing the wash and getting that out the way, putting the clothes in the dryer, which gives us a full hour to handle our business and talk about everything we need to talk about. So no worries. The wash is good. Everything's all mixed together, so don't break my balls. That's just how I do it. It's t-shirts and jeans and underwear, and nothing needs to be separated, nothing needs to be folded. It's single guy laundry, and that's that. So what else we got? What are we talking about? Kira is coming to Australia with me. Hey, don't cuss in the house. Don't cuss in the house or curse in the house. Is that what you mean? If you're coming in expecting me not to curse, you're on the wrong channel because I'm gonna. Jim Thomas, Australia is getting seriously socialist. I didn't know that, but it's happening everywhere, man. So I guess, some that should have been expected. But tell me more if you know about it. But Gregory Wayne, fajita chicken here, and I think I'll make a few chicken and dumplings. That sounds all right. I don't know what I'm eating tonight. Well, we'll see. Maybe we'll do the ghetto chicken this time. Cat in red sauce. Nah, man. Listen, if it tasted good, would it matter that it was cat? There's lots of cats, man. It's not like, I don't know, I'm not a big cat fan anyway, so I wouldn't be squeamish about eating a cat. I'll tell you, I had horse meat one time, unknowingly. And it was the best steak I ever had in my life. And it was huge, and it was really good, and it was cheap because it was horse. And I found out about it, like, because the place we used to go to regularly, we went one night and there was a sign on the door saying that they were closed down, and it turns out they were in the paper the next day for serving horse meat. And I was just like, you know what? It wasn't bad, and it tasted just like steak. And let me know when you reopen, because I'll come back for more. But like, I don't know, man. You know what? We eat a lot of awful stuff, so I'm not going to be squeamish over a little cat. It's more what extra ingredients they might be popping in that concerns me. And especially, this is why I don't want to go like broadcast from inside when I order my food, because I'm not going to be able to do it without saying something about the dumb kid who jacks up my order all the time. And then if he hears me, you never know what might end up in my egg foo young, you know what I'm saying? Bessie Dotson having meatloaf, taters, and green beans. I don't recall seeing you in here before, so if you're new, welcome, and thanks for being here. What else we got? Gigi Simone. What accent? I don't have an accent. You have an accent. I just talk. So if you're talking about me, I don't have an accent. It's you that has an accent. Even though I can't hear you, you typed with an accent. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Hit me with something. I don't want to talk about Jesse, Pussy, whatever his name is. But if that's what you want to do, we can do that. Nothing. What'd you think of the theme song? Did anybody listen to the song? That was from the Hilltop Hoods. When we get some money and we do a real show where we have music and all kinds of stuff like that, that's going to be a theme song. So let me know what you thought of that. Well, Hedonism is on Jamaica's Booby K. That's from Kira Weber Hopwood. That's not, I think that's a second place that they have now. The original one, which is called Hedonism 2, which I don't think there's a Hedonism 1, so that's always been a mystery to me. But it's actually in Negril, which is just one of the most beautiful places in the whole world. If anybody's ever been to Negril, it's just a spectacular. Again, this is going back 20 years. I don't know what it's like now. But there's a place there called Rick's Cafe, which is a huge tourist trap. The thing about it, though, is like you go there and like everybody goes there. It's like going to the Hard Rock Cafe when you come to New York City. It's just like a goofy tourist trap and whatever. The thing is, though, it's a real cool place. It's just a good bar. It's just a real good club. And it's pricey. And yeah, whatever. Everything's pricey down there. But they got this view of the sunset, and they hype it as the best sunset in the world, the best sunset in the Caribbean, blah, blah. It's spectacular. It honestly lives up to its name, and that's like the best part of the whole deal. Like, yeah, they hit you like with the hair braiding, and they try and sell you some hash brownies and the cool stuff. They got cliff diving for like they got some pro cliff divers, I guess, to do like a show, and then they let all the drunk Americans dive off the cliff, and that's usually pretty good. Again, a long time ago. I don't know if they still do all that, but that was kind of fun. But Jamaica was a badass place. I enjoyed it a lot. I'll give you a story about Hedonism 2. Okay, it's not everybody running around naked. Okay, you don't have to do that. That's what everybody thinks that is, and there is a lot of it. But the thing about it is, it's just unbridled. Like you just go there and you just do whatever you want. And when you go in, I don't know if anybody's been there. Like back me up on this because you might have had the same story or similar. Excuse me, I got a hack tonight. So when you go into the resort, it's a sprawling place. The rooms actually suck because who's in the rooms except for, obvious reasons, and sleeping. But the pool, you walk out from you go in through the front gate, you go across the property, and you get to the pool. And it's not a huge pool. It's an okay pool, whatever. But there's two stairs that go down either side of it, like semicircular staircases. One goes to the right, one goes to the left. And you get to the bottom, you come to the entrance to a disco. The club, the resort disco. You go through the front door, and there's a big dance floor, and you pass through that, and there's the bar. And it's not a huge bar. It's maybe like a dozen seats, and behind the bar is a giant window, maybe like 15 feet across and about 8 feet high, that looks out into the swimming pool underwater, which, you know, that kind of gives away the story. You can imagine what it's going to be. So we're sitting in there, and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and we're just pounding down drinks and doing whatever other mind-altering things you do when you're in Jamaica. And it's like 2 a.m., and all of a sudden, boosh, boosh, you see 2 people dive into the pool. And it was a couple, and they were buck-ass naked, and they started doing the nasty right in the pool, which obviously they didn't go into the bar before they went into the pool and see what the circumstance was. Or they didn't care, which, hey, man, whatever tickles you, I guess. But the thing about it was, you know, it wasn't a lot of people in the bar. There was like 8 or 10 people in the bar, and we're just pissing ourselves because these people are just like flat out fucking in the pool in front of 12 drunk American tourists and a Jamaican bartender, all laughing their ass off equally as loud and clapping and cheering. So they finish up, and they get out of the pool, and we go back to our business. And literally 5 minutes later, the doors to the bar open up, and the 2 of them come in, and the dozen people that were sitting in the bar simultaneously stood up and started clapping. And at the same time, the woman saw the window in the pool and us clapping, completely realized the predicament, and did not come out of her room, to my knowledge, for the rest of the time that they were at hedonism too. So listen, you know what? Know your environment, folks. And before you start knocking boots in the pool, you want to make sure that it's as clandestine as you thought it was, because you put on a show and ruin your whole vacation. So that's my helpful hint, tip, public service announcement for the day. You're welcome. So what else we got? You have to scroll in. I got to tell you, I don't like how the comments look from this position with the phone like this. They're a little harder to read, and they're a little harder to keep up with. So yes, the most important topic of the night. This is Kira. Why the meme moratorium? All right, you know what? Just give me a second. Here's the thing about the meme thing, all right? And you wanted to say it was a tantrum. It was a little bit of a tantrum. You can couple that with that I'm tired and I'm not feeling great. It was pre-splinter, so I'm not going to blame it on that. The thing is this. It's twofold. And the first part of it is, I want everybody to understand, and it's not a pity party, okay? The thing about it is, I spend a lot of time on this thing, on PCS, okay? I'm a one-man show, and it's literally all my waking hours go into this. And I'm on the phone constantly. I'm on my computer constantly. I'm advertising. I'm doing invites. I'm creating content, whatever. Again, like I said, it's not a pity party, but the matter of the fact is that time is an issue for me, okay? And if I'm going to spend 20 or 30 minutes doing something like that and put it up, and it's just, you know what? I know some of them suck. I get it. And I'll tell you most of the time when I think they suck. And it starts back going a couple days ago with that asshole who was just pounding me on it. And that's not what happened today. It wasn't that guy. It was somebody else. And I'm not even mad at the guy today. It's just one of those things. If I put something up that I took time to do, and the first thing I see is, oh, this wasn't so good, or this sucks, oh, it's not as good as this one. You know what? I can use that time for better things. And it's just purely a time management thing. It's not, like I said, I'm not mad at anybody. I was a little pissed at the knucklehead the other day, and I handled that. But the other half of it is, and then just going back to this, I mean, I like I said, I only have so much time, and I only got 2 hands and 2 thumbs to do whatever I got to do on the phone. And if it's something that's just not working, and I got to use my time better. So that's part of it. And the other thing was, you know what? I put stuff out there, and who wants to hear shit like that? You know, you suck. And again, starting back with the one, the guy from the other day, it was literally like one time, the first one, they made 3 different comments about the meme. It's like, all right, shut the fuck up already. Go somewhere else. You know, go look at something. There's 1,000 things on here. There's literally 1,500 memes. So go scroll if you don't like this one. That's fine. And then the thing that annoyed me more than anything was this mook put up a picture, a side-by-side picture of Alexandria Oxycodone and a donkey with his mouth open braying with no text on it. And said, here, do memes like this. Well, fuck you. What are you talking about? That's the benchmark that you're measuring my work against. Then you're an idiot. And, you know, and not that that wasn't, you know, cute. It was funny. But don't make that the bar for me, because you're way off base. And I'm not stroking myself and saying that my stuff's a little better than that. And if that's what you think is good and you're ragging on my stuff, it's not me, son. It's you. And then just going on. Then there were like 2 more comments. It's like, all right, I let that shit go, whatever. I said something mild. I didn't go crazy on it. The next day, it was another thing. It's like, oh, yeah, you're finally catching on, because it was another meme. And I guess he'd like that one a little better. Oh, you're finally catching on. Again, please go fuck yourself, because I'm finally catching on. You know what? I built PCS on those memes, partially. So don't tell me about like some condescending, patronizing bullshit that I'm finally catching on and meeting your standards of 2 pictures side by side with no text that were kind of cute. Okay, and then they jumped in on another one and said, oh, this one sucks too. And that's when that was the end of him. I was like, all right, man, you know, I didn't say anything. You're out. And if I was an asshole about it, I'll own being an asshole, because I can be an asshole just as much as anybody else. But and then, you know what, a day or 2 went by, I put up a couple more, and then the one hit today, and it was just like, all right, man, you know what? So I'm not making a hard kill switch on the memes, all right? And if anybody's, I saw like 5 people like unfollowed like immediately after I said that. And whatever, man. You know what? If that's what's keeping you here, I kind of would like to think that the things I say are a little more important than the cartoons. I read the front page of the paper before I read the comics. That's just me. Maybe that's not other people. Again, you know, I'm not making it a hardball. I'm never doing another meme, blah, 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 and having a big ass tantrum. And if you think I had a tantrum today, I apologize. Trust me, that's not a tantrum. I can do a way better tantrum than that if I ever, you know, have to. And you'll see the difference and you'll understand what I'm talking about. But in answer to your question, Kira, and I knew somebody's going to bring it up, and it's all good. You know, that's what that was all about today. So, you know, if anybody's upset about that, and if I look like a dick, I'm sorry. Just kind of caught me wrong, and that's the wrap to that. So, let's see what else we got. I'm flipping the phone for a little bit, guys, because I got to get through some of these. And nobody really said whether they liked it one way or the other anyway. Rotate your device. You can't turn your phone while live. Well, fuck me. Okay, so I guess we're locked into this for the hour. All right, so there we go. Kevin Brisson voted from Green Bay, Wisconsin for President Trump to make America great as if Obama never was president, and will be voting for President Trump in 2020. Awesome. That's the spirit, man. You know, like that's the way most of the people here feel. And I said it last week. It's not a Trump cheerleading website. I'm going to call them when I see things that I don't like. But that's the basis, and I like the spirit. You know, a lot can happen between now and 2020. A lot of failing can happen, and we're kind of used to success because just about everything's been a success so far, and you're seeing tangible results of the things the man's doing. But he ain't done yet, and there's a lot of things still got to happen. Another thing came up again today, and which we touched on last week, man. If Hillary Clinton is still walking free in 2024, we don't have MAGA. We have 99%. You know, little things like that. And again, that's me. Everybody's got their own little things. The man's doing a fantastic job. I'm not unhappy with him. And awesome that you support him. I think a lot of people here do. Obviously, a lot of people here do. And good on you. Mike Petty, I am absolutely not going to twerk for you. There's no way I could hold the camera right for that. Even setting it up, it's just not something I'm going to do, man. Like, I'll keep you posted. And even people who are asking me for pictures, which is, I guess, kind of flattering, I'm not going to take a picture of my ass. It ain't freaking TMZ and the Kardashians. Although, you know, it's funny. I swore when I started PCS that I was not going to have my face on camera for anything. And that's why you see on my regular page that I'm wearing the sunglasses, and that was the original picture for PCS before I switched it up. And it was like a whole thing where like I just want to kind of keep my identity because who knows what's going to happen with this, and who knows what psychos are out there that would come after me if they know what I look like. And then 6 months later, my face is on every third friggin' meme, and the face you make, and every so much for that. So I guess, you know, I am a friggin' Kardashian by now, just with my selfies. I'm not going to make any pouty lips or anything, but no, I'm not putting any ass pics up, guys. You know, we'll do something where like I'll raffle off an autographed picture of my ass once it's finally sculpted and done to my satisfaction. We'll do something like that. Or if you get somebody to buy or if you buy the book, I'll take a picture of my ass and autograph it and send it to you with the book. Or when we get some t-shirts going, maybe we can do something like that. But no, Mike, sorry to let you down, buddy. I know you're a regular and you've been here from the start, but no good on that. Brock Critis, I hope I said the last name right. Keep up the good work. Thank you, brother. We appreciate it. We meaning me. Lisa Barley Spring checking in late. Hello, PCSers. Have a flood going on in my house and having it dealt with now. So what I miss? What did you miss? Thanks for being on PCS. Buy the book. Welcome new people. We talked about the meme thing. It's all good. I got a big splinter under my finger today, which hurt a lot, and I screamed. But nobody came downstairs to see if I was okay for 5 minutes, so I was a little sad about that. So fuck them. And that's about it. So I got a lot packed into the first couple of minutes of the show. So welcome, Lisa. Glad you got here. I hope the flood's cool. What happened? Tell me about that. What else we got? Barbara Brickhill, One World Order Agenda. Yeah, that's a thing. And new things like that just keep popping up every day, and you watch what's going on in the EU. And some of the other, you know, some of the other countries, and you're like, man, you better watch out. As in Syracuse, Mary S. Joyner, as in Syracuse in the house. You can't curse more than I do. All right, good. I feel a little better now. Syracuse in the house. I got a couple of kids that ran with my son when he was in high school on track that go to Syracuse. So up to the Orangemen. They got a kid, the first kid from my son's graduating class. There was this set of just like complete high school distance running studs from New York. And I got a picture I post every once in a while. It's my favorite picture ever from the whole time my kid was running high school track, of the four of them. And one of them's a kid named Aiden Tucker, and he was the first out of the four that broke 4 minutes for a mile. He just did that about a month or two ago, and he's going to be competitive in the NCAA. No, he's probably not going to win, but it was a cool thing. It was a cool thing to see, like that 4 minute barrier for a mile. I don't know. There goes my track geekery again. I know not everybody gets that stuff, but it was a cool thing to see him do that. Aiden Tucker is a great kid too. So maybe I'll post that picture later too. And whoever's asking about the book before too, I'll post a link at the end if you're interested in that. It's called Thoughts from the Real. It's $3.99. Blah 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 blah. Okay, moving along. Susan Williams Sharp. I had a severe reaction to unknowingly eating horse meat. No kidding. What would cause that in horse meat? Like, is it like what specifically? Is it the horse meat itself, or was it? 'Cause you know what I mean? People eat horse meat. Like Russia eats horse meat. A lot of countries eat horse meat, and it's just like another. Like I get it, man. Like you ride them and you have them for pets and stuff, but it's just, you know, culturally. But then again, like people eat dog too, and we freak out about that. And it's my how do I describe it? My libertarian tendencies, which I do have. I don't want to get into the Libertarian Party right now because that'll take up the whole rest of the hour because I have issues. But at heart, I'm libertarian. And the thing about it is, like, libertarian, my libertarian lean says to me, it's none of my business what people in, like, China eat. And if they eat dogs and if they eat cats. And us telling them that because we like them, you know, I mean, I get it how you feel. And I'm not a pet lover or anything. I'm not a pet owner, but I'd have a dog if I could. I probably wouldn't, man, because I'm not like picking up shit and cleaning up and taking it to the vet and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm not a commitment person in that way. But I mean, again, getting off topic, the horse meat thing, man. It's just like that horse meat I ate legitimately tasted so much like beef. I wouldn't have known it. I never knew the difference. It was a place we were going to for a couple of months, and we had the same thing every time. And I never would have thought for 1 second that it wasn't beef, and good beef too. I mean, it was tender, it was tasty, it was a large steak, which was the only questionable thing about it. I'm like, where do they get this steak from, man? Like, this must be like friggin' Hulk Hogan cow. But so yeah, I didn't like know there was anything in horse meat specifically that would be like detrimental to your health. So tell me a little bit about that. Not that I'm going to eat it again, but I hope it wasn't horrible. That sounds awful. Let's see what else is cooking here. We are talking about eating cat. No, Mike Petty, you're talking about eating cat in red sauce. Nobody else is, because we don't care. I'll eat the damn cat. If I knew it was cat, I'd eat it, because it stuff's good. Damn. Brian Fanoof, shepherd's pie for me. Now my dog is eating the rest. Awesome. Shepherd's pie is great when it's done right. I get it from this place once in a while. It's a buffet in a supermarket near my house, which it's like a privately owned supermarket. And sometimes it's right on point, and sometimes it's real bad. Most of their food's pretty good. But the shepherd's pie, they made it one time, and they poured like a gallon of ketchup into it. And I'm like, who does that? Ketchup in shepherd's pie. I never heard of that before. And it was real off-putting. But I dig a good shepherd's pie, man. I used to ride with this club from the Bronx, this bike club from the Bronx back in the day when I used to be a motorcycle instructor. I had a lot of connections with a lot of the clubs. And this was a hardcore, like, Irish from Ireland, not a people who lived in the Bronx, and had a motorcycle club, the Celtic Motorcycle Club. And they would have their events a couple times a year. They had it was like the coolest little clubhouse. It was on a canal in the Bronx, and it was like on stilts and stuff. It was a badass little clubhouse. And man, they nailed the shepherd's pie. I remember that was a long time ago, and I remember that too. So good on you for the shepherd's pie. Enjoy that. Somebody tell me what time it is, because I can't look at the clock while I'm here, while I'm on live. I'm also trying to negotiate these freaking texts. The theme song was great. Betsy, I like that song. Those guys are badass. That album, actually, I think that album dropped today. That was a single, and I know I'm going to screw this up again, and I screwed it. It's going to be the third time I screw it up, and it's just this mental block. It was one of my leases sent me that, as it came out as a single a week or two ago. And I was like, first of all, that song just describes my whole life. If you watch the video and read the words, because it's a little quick and it's a little hard to understand, kind of like me, I guess, with my accent, whoever said that. But that's a badass song. I like that song, and it kind of sums it all up for me. So once we have some money and a budget and can pay licensing fees, we're going to reach out to the Hilltop Hoods and see if we can't use that amongst some others as a theme song. So thank you for that. Linda Bleefnick, love the theme song. I'm still whistling. It's catchy, right? You to me, look, I'm sorry, I'm not myself. I smoked some weed, took some Molly, can't. That was cool. That's not me. That's the other guy talking to me, and I'm the one that says, leave me the fuck alone. But yeah, good song, and they riffed on Manafort, which was, whatever. It was kind of funny, no matter what you think of it. Matthew Coy, hash brownies legal there. Just curious. You know what? They call it spice cake, man. It weren't hash brownies. I didn't have any because I wasn't messing with hash. I wasn't messing with hash. I did once before a long time ago and had a pretty interesting experience with it, so I don't go near that anymore. One of my misadventures from my youth. And let's just say I ended up passing out a couple of times in public, and it was a little embarrassing. But we'll talk about that some other time, maybe. Can we go from your show to Last Man Standing? Or we can go from your show to Last Man Standing. Awesome. I've never seen that. I heard it's a good show. I always dug Tim Allen. I don't watch TV. I quit watching TV, I guess, over 10 years ago. Because it was just all the reality shows were kicking in. I'm like, this is so over for me with this reality nonsense, because all it's going to, this was like, I started quitting watching TV after like the second or third season of Survivor. And I had watched, what was that one on MTV? Full House, or no, not Full House. That was Jesse and those two little ugly twins. What was the show? The Real World. That was the show on MTV. I watched a couple of seasons of that. I thought it was all right. It was fun. It was cute. It was over. Then Survivor. And I got on board with that. And it's like, you know what? This is an awesome show. And it's an awesome idea. And what are we looking at? Guys, try not to send me anything through the messenger because it just blocks up the screen for me. We're just looking at a street scene here. That's the laundromat right there. You see the red car, like right smack in the middle, and the building lit up behind it. That's the laundromat. That's where my clothes are cooking right now. So that's where we're at. TV. Oh yeah, reality stuff, man. Like I watched the first season or two of Survivor, and it was a great concept and it was cool. But then the second season, I'm like, all right, we did this already. It's just the way my brain works. Like I get bored real easy with stuff like that, and I get bored conceptually, and I'm like saying to myself, man, how are we gonna like watch this? Even The Simpsons. Like The Simpsons has been on for like 35 years now or something like that. And I was the biggest Simpsons fan in the world for the first 4 or 5 years. And I'm just like, man, where are you going to go with this? Like, it's just done. And even more so with like the whole reality TV thing, because I could tell right then everybody was going to get on the bandwagon. They were going to have the copycat shows. Then they were going to have completely different sort of shows. And it was all going to become, and it just sucks the creativity out of everything. The entertainment, the media entertainment industry in Hollywood is so devoid of creativity, it sickens me. It sickens me. There's nothing happening out there creatively. Music is like the last bastion of that, as far as like that's, I mean, you know, there's still people doing new stuff and music changes, but, and the other thing with the reality TV is you could tell from the jump that it was just going to get stupider and stupider and stupider, because the whole concept of reality TV is so stupid people can sit home on their couch and watch other stupid people do stupid things with their stupid wife and their stupid kids, driving their stupid car around on their stupid TV show. And it makes people at home feel better about being stupid themselves. That's my whole take on reality TV. And I don't mean any offense to anybody. That's just the way I look at it. But it proved out. Like you start seeing the stupid kid where they had like 16-year-old girls who were pregnant and made a show about that. Or they take this kid, Jazz is his name, who suffers from gender dysphoria, and make a show out of him. It's so exploitive. It bottoms out, man. And I'm not about that. But yeah, I quit watching TV like 10 years ago. It wasn't like a conscious decision where I said one night, you know what, fuck this is enough. I'm not doing this anymore. I finished up a few shows, and I think I talked about it last week that the last show I ever watched where I finished out the series, and this was after I literally quit watching TV, and I didn't even have a TV anymore. And I would go to my mom's house on, I think it was Tuesday nights, to watch The Shield once a week, to watch the 1-hour episode of The Shield, which is the most badass TV show ever. So if you never saw that, check that out. That was a great show. Any Shield fans out there, I could talk about that with you all night long. Not on the live show, but we'll definitely hit on that. But, and I watched that. I went over to my mom's house, mom and dad's house, every Tuesday night, specifically to watch The Shield until the series finale. And that was the last TV I ever sat down and consciously and purposely watched. You know, if I'm someplace with my parents or in someplace and there's TV on, I'll watch it. It's like a treat, actually. It's kind of cool to watch TV from that perspective, where it's not like something I'm just glutting myself with. And it's brain numbing. You know what I don't do anymore either? And this wasn't conscious. It's just, you know, going back to what I was saying before about time. I don't read anymore. And it kills me when I think about that, because I was such a voracious reader. I would walk around and I didn't, you know, I did the Kindle thing and I had that, but I always had books. And I would have 3 or 4 books going at a time. Like literally, I'd be reading a book and the next day I'd pull out another book out of my backpack and read that. Like couple in the same day. Like I always used to just tear through books like crazy, and I just do not have the time to do it anymore, and it kills me. I lay in bed sometimes and I actually tried reading Thoughts from the Real, because I've never read Thoughts from the Real. Ironically, the book that I wrote, I finished it and I put it out, and I never even read it from cover to cover. I know what's in it, I don't remember it, but like I said, I never sat down and read the book. So that's something I miss a lot. But TV, I do not miss at all. Like I said, when I do catch it now and then, it's like a treat, so I like keeping it that way. You know what's cool, too? I don't have to hear the circus monkey talk with her little, okay, we're going to do the new Green Deal, and it's going to be really cool, and we have no idea how we're going to pay for it, but we're going to do it, and if you don't like it, that's just too bad. See, I don't have to hear that. I can just not, you know, I can read about her online and know she's stupid, and she has no good ideas and doesn't know anything about anything, without having to hear that annoying eek at the end of every sentence, and actually, expose myself to having to listen to that mess. So knock yourselves out if you want to hear that, but I'm not up about it. Just trying to see who else is here. 70 viewers. Delay on scroll comments. So I know, and there's nothing I can really do about that, and I apologize for it. If you watch on the taped non-live version of it too, there's a little delay on that. It's kind of weird. You know what was kind of cool though? The next day I put it up on YouTube, and there's no comments shown, so it actually just reads like a radio show. So I noticed that last week, and I'm trying to kind of like tailor it toward that, where I'm not just like, I'm trying to read like anything I talk about from a comment, I'm reading, so you know what I'm talking about. But maybe try and watch it like that. Watch it the next day on YouTube. I post it the next morning, and it doesn't have the comments. It's just me talking, which might be more boring or might be less distracting. You'll have to give it a look and check that out and see how you feel about it. So that's what's up with that. That decoy. See you checking in. I don't know if we had the numbers we had last week, but we got a good group. Joe Mintier, hang on. Dude, don't let their criticism bug the piss out of you. You're making the effort to entertain us, and I appreciate it. And I can't read the rest of the comment because something's blocking it. AOC's voice sounds like Kim something, but that's like, this is definitely not going to be, we're not going to hold this phone anyway this because I'm missing all the comments. But Joe, thank you, man. Thank you for saying that. And I get it that that's the majority of you out there. I'm glad I went back to this because I don't want to appear ungrateful to y'all. I get it that y'all dig the memes, and I get it that you appreciate what I'm doing. You've been nothing but supportive, and it's been tremendous, and it's been beyond all my expectations. And Jim, yeah, if you're listening, I didn't see your name pop up yet. Jim Thomas. You said something about don't let it break your spirit, and that hit home for me, man. And it's not that at all, man. My spirit's fine. It's like I said, man, it's time management. I mean, if I'm going to put something up that's just going to bite me in the ass and be like, oh, that sucks, give me something else. I got better things to do with my time. And I did let it get to me, but man, I felt bad. It actually made me feel bad when I saw you say that. My spirit's not broken, man. I'm here and I'm whole, and we're going to just keep on talking just like we always do. Joe Mintier, thanks again for saying that. I do appreciate it. And I'm good, man. Everything's all right. So scrolling. Betty Hernandez, back from your softball game. How'd that go? Just to vent. It was one of those days. Hi, Glenn. Yeah, I get them, and everybody gets them. And I just get them out louder than other people do because I got 5,000 people watching me have them, where maybe you only have a handful or so. So I had a tantrum. Whatever you want to call it, a tantrum. I had a tantrum. I don't know. Lisa Rossell, I love your memes. I absolutely look forward to the daily. All right, well, I'll work that all out. I'm not going to. And it's, funny now, like everybody's going to be like all afraid to tell me one sucks now. Do that. If it sucks, it sucks. But just trust me that I probably know it sucks and put it up anyway. I'm just trying to think back because it's a funny thing. I don't think there's a meme I've done. No, that's not true. I think there's over 1,500 memes on Planet Common Sense now. And it's literally all but maybe a half a dozen that I've made. So I've literally put up almost every meme. Like there's no meme that sucks too bad that I don't put it up. Some of them suck so bad that I say, this meme sucks, so whatever, here it is anyway. Maybe somebody will chuckle. But I get it, they suck sometimes, man. There was days where I do 3 or 4 of them, and the thing about it, too, is they come to me. It's not like I plan them out ahead of time. Like, I'll see somebody say something, and it's boom, it triggers a meme. And I go into the phone, and I make the meme, boom, pop it up. It's not like pre-planned. And sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes nothing happens. Sometimes there's no idea. And honestly, I'll try and force it sometimes, and that's usually when you see the shitty ones. And the thing that killed me today wasn't even a shitty one. I don't know who saw it. I'm getting up a little bit. So here comes getting dizzy now, because I got to check the time. I got to see where we're at on that and how much time we got left. And there I am blocking the phone because I'm holding it all stupid. Oh, here we go. The one today was freaking funny, man. I thought, I'll put it back up after. Just tell me if you want me to put it back up or not. Just say yes or no, whatever. Yes, put it up, don't. But it was a stupid Pussy Smollett meme. And I think what happened with whoever, and I'm not, again, if you're listening, I'm not saying your name. I'm not mad at you, man. Like, it was an unfortunate thing that happened. But the meme was, it was, remember the movie, whoever saw it, and I love this movie, and a lot of people hate it, but You Don't Mess with the Zohan, Adam Sandler. It was one of my favorite movies. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. And the scene where he's just kicking the guy in the face, and he puts his foot up in his face, and he's like, smell it, now take it. And he kicks him in the face. So I did the meme, and instead of smell it, I put smell it, now take it. And he kicked the guy in the face, and I put Jesse's face on the guy who was getting kicked in the face. I thought it was funny. Maybe you didn't get it. Maybe you didn't see the movie. And maybe like you understand now. But if anybody else thought it sucked, okay. I didn't. I thought it was actually a pretty good one. But whatever, man. You know, I can't let it get to me. Y'all are right about that. But I won't, all right? I'll work it out. It's just my head. Okay, Lisa Barley Spring. Hot water pipe burst in my ceiling. Servpro setting me up. The insurance company will put me up in a hotel. Repipe and new flooring. Wow, so that's no joke. That's not like just like the washing machine overflowed. Like, that sucks. And I see that all the time working in the job I work at, where people are popping hoses and stuff like that, and they get an inch of... Well, the people that come to from where I work, and I don't want to get so specific, I don't want to insult anybody, not that anybody's listening. There's some pretty soft suburbanites, or whatever you want to call them, and if they get a 2-foot across puddle on their floor, it's like fucking Armageddon, and they freak out and stuff like that. They're buying shop vacs, and they're buying sandbags and snorkels and whatever else. So, but that's legit. Like, you had a pipe burst. That's no shit. I'm real sorry about that, because that sucks a lot. So I hope everything works out for you. That's shitty, but at least they're taking care of it. Betty Hernandez. What about Caitlin Tui? Sorry about the spelling. No, that's okay. It took me like a year to figure out her name too, and I've known this kid for 7 years. It's kind of like just one of those things where, like, I was posting about it regularly, and I saw it wasn't like really catching on. I don't want to like burden anybody with it, so I kind of stopped. And I stopped about the basketball games too for another reason, which I'll tell you. But she's doing great. She set a national record at 3,000 meters. In case people don't know, Caitlin Tui is she's this kid. She's a junior in high school. My son was a rock star high school distance runner when he was in high school. And when he was in about 9th grade, or I guess it must have been 10th grade, this girl popped up. She's a little 7th grade girl. She was like as big as your finger. And she was just a monster. She would get on the track and she was just blowing everybody away. Like, and again, this is my track geekery. Like a lot of people aren't going to get this, but she was putting up times where like people were looking at each other like, what? That just doesn't look right. And she would go on the track, this little 11, 12-year-old girl, and just smoke everybody. And then like you'd see her like half hour later, like sitting in a corner with like a teddy bear in a juice box doing her like algebra homework. And it was pretty surreal. And the thing is, she just kept getting better and better and better. Long story short, now this is when she was in 7th grade when we first started seeing her. She's a junior now. And she has just tore up everything. She's broken like 5 or 6 national records now. A couple weeks ago, she broke the national indoor record for 3,000 meters. If you're a runner, like if you're like even a hobby jogger or run for health, like you know as far as like distances and stuff like that. And I could tell the uninitiated who just are hobby joggers, like this kid has the national high school girls 5K record, 5,000 meters. 5K, 3.1 miles, 15:37. That's blazing, okay? She just set the record for 3,000 meters, which is just under 2 miles, at 9 flat or 9:01. She's got like a 4:30 mile. I mean, she's just amazing. And this is a kid who's like legitimately got a shot at going to the Olympics. So, again, you know, I bet I'll keep you posted about that stuff. As far as the UB basketball, they're still kicking ass. They're playing right now, I think, or they're going to be playing in a little bit. They're still kicking ass. And I'll tell you what happened the other night was that I posted it, and like as soon as it was just another one of those things. And this wasn't like all tantrumy and weepy and mewling like I did today, but I posted it, and like somebody started saying, "Oh, sports are bullshit, blah blah blah, blah. This sucks." Well, I'm like, all right. And then somebody else jumped in and said, well, you know, fuck you, whatever. And it's just like, I'm not having this shit. Like, I'm not having fights. It's been a nice, quiet couple of weeks, and we're going to fight over something stupid like this now. So I just took that post down. I don't know if you saw it go away, and I haven't posted about any of the games since, but UB's ranked 25 in the NCAA. They are now, I believe, 23-3 or 22-3. They're looking good. They got a pretty easy last couple games. So hang in there, Betty. We're going to watch a game together one day. So that's what that's all about. So I'm not paying attention to these comments at all. I'm just rambling, which is good, because if I'm going to do live shows, I guess I got to be able to talk. But I want you to think I'm neglecting you all either. We're going to go back in now and check on the laundry and see what the time, because I don't think anybody... Augustus Hope Baumgartner, blasphemy, ketchup and shepherd's pie. That's what I'm saying. Who does that? Ketchup and shepherd's pie? That's ridiculous. You don't even put it on ketchup, on shepherd's pie. Like, who does that? Who puts ketchup on scrambled eggs? I don't know about it. Don't even tell me. All right, so let me go inside and see what's up with this time. We're going to have to tone things down a little bit as we go inside. We're going to kind of cut back on the cursing because there's kids in here. I guess I know they probably don't speak English. But where are we? Where are we? Where are my clothes? Where are these dryers here? Alright, wow, we got 4 minutes. I talked my ass off tonight. Alright, so we're going to head up the street and start bringing this to a close. So I think we had another good night tonight. We got a lot of people in here. We got a lot of questions answered. Again, my apologies on the meme thing. You know, I'll straighten it out. You know, I don't know. I got feelings too, you know. Whatever. I'll put it out there. We'll get that going again. And again, I apologize about that. And again, I absolutely appreciate your support, and everybody's been really, really cool. And we're still growing. I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things I talk about on the page as far as the censorship and like the invite bans and the like bans and the shadow banning. You know, we're not going to get into that now, obviously, because we're just about done. But we'll talk about that on a future episode. And definitely want to, you know, you guys got to let me know what you want to talk about. And if you tell me some ideas ahead of time, you know, maybe we can kind of plan on it as we go along and bring some stuff in to kick off with. But again, thank you all so much for your support. I really appreciate it. You guys are making it grow. Keep telling your friends. Keep dragging people in there. You know, the more the merrier. And we're building a nice little force, and we're starting to make some noise. And again, it kind of comes back to some of that oppression we're seeing and some of that banning. You know, maybe I'm a hopeful optimist, but maybe that's because they're starting to pay attention a little, because we're starting to make some noise and we're starting to say some things that maybe they're a little scared of, you know? And I just got a nice little whiff of weed walking past there. But yeah, please tell your friends, get some people in there. You know, I know you all are doing it. Keep on, keeping on. Let's get... We passed that 5,000, and I know I promised you I was going to file with the State Department to classify us as a migrant caravan and see if we can get free backpacks and refurbished Obama phones and bags of snacks and stuff like they do with all the other migrant caravans, but that never materialized. Maybe we'll do that at 6,000 because we're about halfway there already. But again, thank you for your support, and please just keep it up. Keep pounding away. Get everybody in there. People who haven't hit follow, just hit the button, man. It doesn't hurt. Get on board. Get the numbers up. Again, thank you to those people who bought the book. Definitely hope we can get into some of that stuff and talk about some of those topics. And I'll post a link if you're interested in the book. Again, it's called Thoughts from the Real, our first official sponsor of PCS Laundry Live. Thoughts from the Real. It's on Amazon. It's on Nook at $3.99. It's a cheap read. Look at it like tipping your bartender. And again, thank you all for making this live show awesome. I'm going to keep on doing it. Got some ideas for some other things. I was talking to my son the other night about possibly us doing a show together and see how that goes. And then, you know what? If we start coming up with stuff that sucks, we won't do it anymore. That's kind of experimental cyber live Facebook Live, broadcasting, it's trial and error. And there's a lot of errors, and hopefully we don't end up going to trial. But that could happen too. So, I'm outside, ghetto chicken. I'm going in to get my dinner. And you all enjoy the rest of your evenings and go enjoy Last Man Standing. And I talked my ass off for, I think, a full hour tonight, or if not, at least close to it. I'm getting better at that. Go in the comments later and the post I'm going to put up later. Let me know what you thought. I'm still learning, and I definitely want to hear what you think. If I suck, tell me I suck, and I won't have a tantrum, I promise. If you like the show, tell me you like the show. Give me some ideas for future stuff. Keep following Planet Common Sense, and thank you all for being here. You all have a great night. Love you, and I'm out.